Hey folks, I'm Mysterious JG. Welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy X-2. What I've done is I opened up a YouTube video of how to solve that puzzle, and when we get there, I'm just going to follow its steps exactly. It's from Bosch 1936. It has 20 million views, so not 20 million, 20,000. Kind of puts this out to shame. But no commentary, just a guy running around doing that puzzle, and I'm just going to go ahead and follow that exactly because I've already figured it out on my own, and I don't feel like thinking about it this time. I think we have videos. We'll have fights we can't avoid because of little cinematics of enemies popping up. Shouldn't be too challenging exactly, although we'll have some overselling to deal with. He got up a slow
Parting
attack.
is such sweet sorrow.
Yeah, he wasn't actually doing too much damage per hit there, considering what he was shooting at. So I think the fastest way out is to go up this way. Oh my god, scary eyeball! Oh, there's a pair of them, so that's not as bad. There's two eyes. It's not as creepy as having just one eye. Or one of the big eyes of Mega Man fame. Big eyes in the original Mega Man, never did quite figure out how you're supposed to get past them without taking a fuck ton of damage. I imagine we'll be able to avoid fighting this thing. Yeah, it's like, you can't just ignore it, apparently. Whew, whew. Alrighty. And we're going to skip any scenes of other characters, for example, Gipple coming here. In the background, if you do all the side quest stuff, there's a whole deal where Gipple and Nuge come along and have a confrontation with LeBlanc or with Baralai, which results in Shuyin jumping from Nuge to Baralai. We're ignoring all that. And I want those of you who are faithfully watching to bear in mind how little any of this makes if you're not seeing any of those scenes. They really do not explain the story that well with just the mandatory material. It's a big hole. We want to jump in.
Let's go.
At this point, why do we think it's a good idea to jump in here, or think it's safe? I guess we figure Vegnagun is somewhere underground. There's no way for us to get back up, you notice. It's just like Nuji said. From the looks of things, there must be something incredible down there. Oh man, what have we gotten ourselves to do this time? You almost have to admire them for being able to hide away something this commodious. Yevon's always liked hiding things, but this is really ridiculous. What is this place? Yeah, it's pretty massive. Yeah, the idea that all this is hidden away under Bavel is a bit silly, actually, but... They're making like the B1 down here. I wonder if these security robots would come and attack if, like, regular Bavel guys showed up down here. Like, this has been waiting for thousands of years to kill any intruders.
I don't take orders.
Alright, with an attack. And stare down. Can you feel the intensity?
But I'll make an exception this time. Leave it to us, love.
Take orders from Nuji Wuji. Just use that chain over there if you want to cross the center. Are you blind, love? Leave the easier job, leave the garter to us. You have no idea what's down there that you're about to jump off a balcony to find out. What's wrong with this picture? Of course, I could easily solve the puzzle of the ribbon, but Alright, so that, I guess, vaguely is supposed to help you figure out the puzzle. Whatever. Got a little cinematic, and I'm switching over to my YouTube video that I'm going to watch. It kind of starts with you having already fought these guys, I'm guessing. I sure hope that this thing started from a logical point, because it didn't actually show you winning this fight. If the towers are lit in the correct way when I step past these enemies, but I feel like I know where I've started from, great. Otherwise, I'm already a little bit confused. Alright. So indeed, yeah, the video starts with you having just won that battle, basically. So. Oh, he did not mean to do that. I just clipped ahead to a libertarian advertisement. Alright, so you come up and activate this. Then you warp, and it's getting ahead of me already. Because I think yeah, this person's clipping out some battle. Which should make sense. I don't understand how the robots can oversoul, but never mind. Alright, so that comes out. I think you just hit the first three ones in order. Because now they walk up to this one. I guess I'll hit play again now and let the video catch up. Oh boy, I sure hope I did that right. This isn't right at all. It's not even... Oh boy, it's already fucked up. I can't tell what they... because they're fighting a different enemy. There's no narrative explanation for any of this. Great. So I don't even know that it's fucking working right. It isn't. I've already screwed up. Alright, fuck this. This video that I watched, it's just didn't even work the same way at all. So, great. I think I have to hit each tower once just to get it started, but to get the actual thing to come out. So maybe, I don't know. Yeah, I just kind of followed it, assuming it was like starting when you first get into the room. But no, apparently you were supposed to have done some pre-work before triggering this video, which is called Getting the Ribbon Plus in Bavel. So I think we are spending the video figuring this out again from scratch. Lovely. I suppose I could have gone back and watched my own video of this first. Yep. Well, no, you definitely have to fight each one once, because that's what actually pulls the steps out, so that's fine. maybe I can go start this whole thing over once we've got all the steps out and assume that that was the starting point that they were assuming you used. And I can figure this out. We can start over and figure this out once we've beaten the Precept Guardian or whatever. Which luckily we can one-shot. Although its death animation is a boss death animation, which is going to take a while because it's supposed to be at the end of a big climactic battle. Other than gold and item drops, we're not getting anything out of any of this, of course, because the characters are already fully leveled. Okay, so at this point, we've got those. We still need one more. I believe this is where this video starts. I'm gonna watch where does Yuna go on this little... Okay, she has to unlock this one, which makes sense because we haven't hit it yet. Which means that we're missing one chunk of floor. And if we defeat this guy and the floor is, and that gate looks red, I'll feel good because it seems to have clipped out this battle. But actually doing calculable damage. Alright, so if the lights on this particular piece are red, then I'll feel like we are picking up in the right spot. And I can still get some use out of Bosch 1936's video. It's just that it's supposed to start at the point where you've unlocked the way to proceed without getting the ribbon, as opposed to when you first get to the puzzle. And it's red. Okay, good. So Bosch 1936's thing is not going to be useless to us. So he goes on to the next one. Shows that you can drop down. This is Bosch's way of letting you know where you are in the puzzle. Hops back up. And goes to have a battle against this boss, which should be Precept's Guardian again. For some reason he's actually showing the battle. So I have to skip ahead to the end of the battle. Now he's going back down one, down two. Okay. Went back down one, looked to show status, and then came back down another one. Having a battle here. Probably not that interesting to listen to. I just want to try to do this in as little screen time as possible. That does not seem to trigger a battle. So she comes down. One more to one that's now grayed out. Goes up there. Turning it red. Going back up one. To this one. Now going up. Oops. 1, 2, 3 to one that's grayed out and activating it. And deposit because I'm trying to watch both screens at once and falling behind. Because I do remember that you use something to switch which one is being manipulated. Now it's red because it's the one that's active. And going up 1. And I think this will involve another actual fight. Yeah. The big fish boss guy. Who actually survived a hit. Good for him. We're very close to the end because they're showing the fights and there's only like a minute left once I fast forward to the end of the fight. So they wander around back and forth a little bit before deciding to go up 2 more, it looks like. And hit the blue there. Yeah, okay. Yeah, Bosch 1936 got a little confused there for a second in his own video. I'm hardly one to talk. Wait, did you hit it or not? Ah, fudge. Yeah, he did. Okay. Sure looks like I can get all the way to the bottom from here. I'm gonna go ahead and check it out. I think I'm done, and Bosch is probably just showing that in this video. So thank you, Bosch 1936. I poked fun at you a little, but in fact, you saved us some time and energy. I do not believe there's any particular reason to get Ring and Bloodlust again. So I'm going to go back to my timer on the video and proceed to try to just win Act 3 with no further ado, or as little further ado as I can manage. Oh, this is reminding me of the incredible tedium in the Via Infinito. Via Infinito had a certain amount of atmosphere. It wasn't a horrible idea for a dungeon, but I guess the higher end the graphics get, the less they're able to just do the good old-fashioned Lufia 2 Rise of the Sinistral style, randomly generating 100-level dungeon. That was quite a little trip in that boat there. I don't know what this is, but I might as well grab it. It's a downtrodder garment grid. I sure hope I don't miss any garment grids that I can only get by playing as New Yevon, but going to some place that I didn't bother to read up on and figure out. Because I'm doing all the stuff in the New Yevon playthrough that I was like mindful I probably couldn't do after siding with the Youth League, or I mean, sorry, the Youth League. I was doing all the things that I figured I couldn't have done when I sided with New Yevon, but there might be other crap that I missed. The big thing I know of is there's a quest in Chapter 5, that Youth League tournament, that you can go hear them talk about it, but they say it right at the end of the speech talking about what it is. Oh, but we can't let New Yevon people participate because people might get too excited. But then you do it as a quest, and it's there.
Hey!
Her eyes are terrifying. How could you possibly be focusing on anything?
That sphere with you-know-who in it. Wasn't it recorded here?
You mean Titus? Call him Titus, goddammit!
Get your head out of the clouds and move it!
Aren't you guys supposed to be guarding the door? Oh, Titus, are you trapped in one of these thingies?
There's a connection. Everything is connected.
You,
I can
me,
feel it.
Nipsey Russell, Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Well, this is what, the oldie-timey jail. Wow, impressive. We are gathering information. Continue on ahead if you would. Phoenix down ×5. Is there some joke here later where we see the video they're recording and they focus in on Yuna's butt and it's like, her, pervy, pervy. Yeah. So why put the wall there at all? Getting pretty close to the end of the act, I believe. If I jump on this one, does it extend a bridge across? Yeah, that's right. This isn't a puzzle so much as a just testing to see that you know how to jump on different stuff. And I guess if you actually go to the trouble of solving some other puzzle, maybe that's, I don't even remember. You can do something else to get an additional Black Knight dress. Oh, you know what? Another Black Knight dress sphere wouldn't be a bad idea. Because it would, getting another Black Knight dress sphere would mean that I could put 2 Black Knight dress spheres on one garment grid, which might be useful in some way. I haven't quite figured out yet. I don't remember what you're supposed to do to get it to work. Supposed to be able to make a little path pop up over there. Or are you supposed to do it after you've already dealt with I don't get it. I don't remember what you're supposed to do to actually... There it is. That's 2 of them, and now I gotta get to the other side some kind of way. You just keep monkeying with it until it works. Alright, so that's it's worth taking a second to do that, to get a second Black Knight dress sphere for any kind of, if I'm trying to deal with super bosses later and I want to create like garment grid combinations where I can switch between stuff to get bonuses, but I don't actually want to switch my away from the sphere grid that I like. The really nice one is I do have multiple mascot dress spheres. Getting a third one of those, however, would involve actually going through and getting mission or act complete in every area, which is a ton of work. That involves doing all sorts of minigame shit, including the Calm Lands minigame again. So instead I get another Black Knight dress sphere. Guess what I should be planning on, if I'm not, I don't know that I want to do all the optional super bosses, but maybe what I need to think about is how we're going to do Final Fantasy X-2 Last Mission, which I've never played through before, and it's apparently, it's a really neat concept. It's like a, randomly generated maps and you play as the Gullwings, except you only play as one Gullwing. And apparently it's quite tedious before you get to the end of it. Hey, who's a fun new friend that we're going to meet here? Hey, Baralai.
What's this? High Summoner Yuna? I was wondering who was there.
Yeah, we beat up your guards.
And
We're
you are?
enemies of New Yevon.
Baralai,
Oh, we never met him.
the praetor of New
That's
Yevon.
right, we never met him. Shh, shush.
Wait, so you were the bad guy?
Not exactly.
Harsh words. You don't have to tell me. I know why you've come. You're here
I'm
to
the bad
destroy
guy.
the weapon that threatens all Spira, Vegnagun.
But it's my friend's weapon,
right?
and I'm protecting it for him.
If it could be destroyed, we would have done so long ago. But Vegnagun must not be touched. Neither you nor Nuge seem to understand that.
You talked to Nuge?
Yeah, we used to hang out on an airship together, remember?
Cannot be trusted.
And you can be?
Sure.
Touche. Yes, I suppose Yevon has brought that distrust upon itself.
You really have a way with words, Riku. Totally scored there.
At any rate, you need not interfere. Leave Vegnagun to me.
Get the F out. No.
What are you planning to do?
Kill Spira. I mean,
The only thing I
pull out
can
a
do.
stick and spin around.
Keep those who would seek to harm Vegnagun away. Please leave.
Yuna. Riku.
Back off, this bitch is
I'm
mine.
going.
Pain.
Stupid. No explanations at all. Can't just talk this through. So this would be easy. If you fight him in the Fiend Arena, I think he's a lot more dangerous than he will be here. But yeah, he's already defeated. And I really don't think it's fair that we keep characterizing the LeBlanc Syndicate as following along behind the Gullwings, not doing the work. Clearly, they're doing all the fighting here.
Sorry. I'm going ahead.
Now that we've eradicated the world
your
and his
reasons.
body is even gone.
Fill us in later, okay?
Eradicated the world of Baralai. Like
Much
Baralai
later.
doesn't even leave a corpse.
Wait up!
That's how totally we destroyed him.
With so many things woven together, what could be waiting where the threads meet?
Some kind of evil possessed version of Bahamut. So be ready for that. Pavel, where the threads meet. So this is where Vegnagun used to be, I guess. But it hopped off of its old platform and left. This guy shows up for no reason.
No way!
Way.
What is it?
It's a little purple kid. Purple outfit kid. Used to pick on Titus. In his true form. Ian actually knows which one. I don't know why she keeps saying an Aeon. Oh, because you got to name them too. That's right, so she never uses the names of any Aeons either.
You must stop!
I forgot about that. That's why they always dance around the
You
names
want to
of
get
the
killed?
Aeons.
We have no choice!
We need to leave. Doesn't seem to be following us, it's just here. I don't have the heart to do it, please. LeBlanc Syndicate, could you kill this Aeon for us? And the answer is yes, they can. So it takes them 3 hits to kill the Act 2 end boss. Bear this in mind, we might reach a point where I need to do some off-screening to get a different party together that can handle, like, you know, at the end of the game, is the LeBlanc Syndicate going to be able to handle Shuyin? Probably. They might have trouble with some of the elephant gun pieces, actually, because some of them you're supposed to attack in a certain way, and if I just let these guys do it, they'll be random. We got a Grease back.
Why is this happening? I wish you were here with me.
Who do you mean? Use my name. Use the names of the Aeons. Call us by our names, damn it!
Thank you, Pain. You
For
were
touching
right.
an area above my shoulder.
We had to fight it.
Thank you for resting your hand as though it were on my shoulder, but being off by several inches. And thank you for not answering the question I just asked you about whether we had to fight it.
Nothing.
Compares to you.
This hole was made recently.
You think it was Vegnagun?
How do you know it was made recently?
Unreal. How deep do you think it goes?
I think it goes all the way to the governor, maybe even the president.
What? Where's Vegnagun?
Not here.
It must have fled in terror, knowing I was coming.
Well, after what you just did to Bahamut.
I don't think so.
I must report to Nuji Wuji at once.
Activate the Nuji
Boys,
Wuji signal.
record this. Don't miss a single detail.
Shoot Yuna's butt.
Yes, boss.
Vegnagun. Was it really here?
Was it just an illusion?
This isn't how it was supposed to be.
Touch your chest,
The
show us
eternal
your sincerity.
calm.
There you go.
I can feel it crumbling, falling away from beneath our feet.
Mm-hmm.
Yona! We are in Super Tutu! Get back to Celsius on the devil!
Come help us clean the doo-doo. Chapter 2 complete. Hopefully I'll be given the option to save so I can call it a video and a session. We got a Fiend Tail bonus, except I don't think any of my Fiends use Fiend Tail bonuses. So it is what it is. Anyway, we're calling it a video. I'm calling it a session. I'm gonna make some dinners. And I guess I recorded enough Final Fantasy X-2 to get us through for a while, seeing as getting the last FFX2 video that went up. I don't know why I always go into this nonsense. I believe it was getting fewer views than Super Show Monster Story. So, at any rate, people just don't appreciate a good RPG story well told and then played through again. And it wasn't a particularly good story. It wasn't particularly well told. But we will be back next time with more of, well, we'll do whatever we have to do at the very beginning of Act 3, but then we're going to go probably do Mihen High Road stuff and Mushroom Rock Road stuff, and then we will, once we've done whatever side quests we can find at those two locations and those two locations alone, we are going to do a laser pinpoint focus in on only the stuff that is absolutely mandatory to finish Chapter 3. And I would be very curious to see, well, no, I have to consider too whether do we need to visit every location but avoid talking to people, because visiting certain locations will allow Shinra to set up a spear, so then Chapter 4 we can check in and see what's going on, because there are certain things, for example, the whole subplot about the Ronso trying to attack the Wado, that we have completely ignored in this playthrough. And we never interacted in any way with Owaka, so I'll be curious to see if they show up later, worse off because we didn't do anything to help, or if the game just ignores them because we ignored them. We'll see, folks. We'll see. Bye for now.